Welcome to State Affairs. I'm Steve Adubato. I can do that. Coming to you from the NJTV studio, the Agnes Ferris NJTV studio. It is our honor, our distinct honor, to represent the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of New Jersey, the Honorable Sheila Oliver. Good to see you.
Always good to be with you.
This is not really your hometown per se, but you've represented this area for a while. You know Essex County well. You make the transition to the Murphy administration as the top person in administration with the governor, and you're running the Department of Community Affairs. What is the job like?
You know, interestingly, when I look at all the things I've done through my career, I've often said I can sit in any chair and do any job. So, you know, from running a nonprofit, the Leaguers, for many years, working in the Essex County administration, I did a variety of different jobs. So transferring all that knowledge and experience to Trenton serves me well, because many people, career people in Trenton, they've been in one department doing one job. I am bringing a broad perspective of statewide problem solving to my job as Commissioner of Community Affairs and as Lieutenant Governor. Having the opportunity to have been in the legislature for 14 years and having been Speaker of the Assembly brings me a whole, as Governor Christie used to say, toolkit.
That's right.
That is really enabling me to not just do my own job, but to help a lot of the people that I work with in the administration.
Lieutenant Governor, if you were to describe the top two issues that you are most concerned about as Lieutenant Governor in this administration, what would they be?
It is economic growth for this state, and it is affordability in this state.
Define affordability.
Affordability, the ability of a family to live that dream of home ownership, sending their kids to college, being able to take vacations every now and then, and to live in a safe community with amenities. That is something that I think every family, no matter what county they come from, what community, that's what everybody wants.
You know, it's interesting. You talk about affordability, and I know that you're particularly interested in prenatal care and early child care. We happen to be doing a series to disclose called Right from the Start, NJ, that deals with toddlers and infants and prenatal care and state reimbursement for child care, et cetera, et cetera. Where does that fit into the agenda from your point of view? Those first few years, say birth to 3, is there a place?
If we do not, in New Jersey, first of all, expand access to pre-K education and infant care.
Yeah, not just pre-K 4 and 5, but 0, 1, 2, 3.
And if we look at women's return and participation in the workforce, the one thing around the affordability issue is women being able to return to the workforce and be confident that their child, 0 to 3, is in a safe place, being cared for properly, and getting early education. And I think if you look at some European countries, Scandinavian countries, they are way ahead of us on this issue of supporting families and women with their early
We're playing catch up.
We're playing catch up.
By the way, I think you saw our web. Jackie, was the website up, the Right from the Start NJ website? If you want to find out more information about that site, can we keep talking about money?
Absolutely.
Not that there's a lot of it in New Jersey. School funding. There was a school funding formula passed in 2008, if I'm not mistaken, in the Corzine administration. We had so many people coming on to the State of Affairs saying, the state is not putting enough money into the school districts that the formula said they should put there. I don't mean just urban, I'm talking about suburban, rural districts. Is that a legitimate argument?
It is.
What's the problem?
It is a legitimate argument.
Is it just not enough money?
Well, it has to do with prioritization and what we have prioritized since 2008. I think, you know, the whole issue now of how we've passed a law mandating us to make mandatory payments into the pension fund, which we turned our heads and ignored for many, many years. You know, there are some people in Trenton that say we don't have a revenue problem, we have a spending problem. But, you know, it is unfair, you know, and there are communities in this state that get virtually little help in terms of
Do they have
state aid.
legitimate beef?
Yes, they do.
I don't want to get to too many towns. They point to Jersey City, a booming real estate market, Hoboken, a lot of money in that town. They say, wait a minute, they're getting way more state funding than they should, and some other communities getting the shaft, and they don't have the facilities they have.
It's unfair, and you know I represented Montclair for 14 years.
My hometown.
Yes, Montclair gets virtually no state aid.
With a massive desegregation program, with a big transportation program that gets kids back and forth.
That's right, and that drives up the property taxes in the town.
I think I know.
There are what I consider to be working class families in Montclair that I represented who are paying $25,000, $26,000, $27,000 a year in property taxes. And that is because they're funding the local school system.
Real quick, can we afford, as Governor Murphy said, free community college, two-year colleges? Can we afford it?
I believe that if we find a way to do that, and we do it, you know, fastidiously, we can't do it all at once. What we will do is we will create broader opportunities for people to earn more money over the course of their lives.
Doable. Let me try this, shift gears. This is, in fact, the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. You are receiving the Dr. Martin Luther King Leadership Award at the annual Stand and Deliver not-for-profit initiative we have, Night of Eloquence, that's coming up. The legacy of Dr. King as a leader, as a man, as an American, as someone who did things that no one else could imagine. What does it mean to you?
Prophetic. King was prophetic. He was before his time. The fact that we can go back and revisit his writings, his speeches, the things he tried to do organizationally all around the country, it means a lot. And you know what? This country has been waiting for a new Dr. King. And we have not seen the emergence of the type of leadership that he had. And to think that this man only lived for 39 years.
You know, Sheila, excuse me for calling you Sheila,
Sure.
Lieutenant Governor, in the minute that we have left, I've known you a long time.
Yes.
We grew up in the same county and rough and tumble politics. Politics, I don't mean it's government service for you is in fact very personal. I saw you recently on a Facebook post receiving an award in Essex County. It's very personal. A minute left. Why is it so personal for you?
Because what drove me into public service was a disdain for injustice. And early on, I realized government could be a vehicle to eradicate injustice.
You knew that?
I knew that as a kid.
But how did you know that you had a responsibility to do something about it?
Because I had great teachers in the Newark public school system. I was always in honors English and literacy, and I read some of the greatest books ever written that focused in on this issue. Tale of Two Cities.
That's right.
Grapes of Wrath.
Right.
They're centuries old concepts, and they're relevant today.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. We're honored by your presence. State of Affairs will be right back, right after this.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Agnes Veris NJTV studio at 2 Gateway. Funding has been provided by the New Jersey Education Association, Englewood Hospital and Medical Center, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, New Jersey Sharing Network, the Turl Fund, supporting Right from the Start NJ, Fedway Associates, Guarini Institute for Government and Leadership at St. Peter's University, and by these public-spirited organizations, individuals, and associations committed to informing New Jersey citizens about the important issues facing the Garden State.